Baltimore, Maryland, CBS Sports presents the National Football League. Today, it's the Miami Dolphins and the Baltimore Ravens.
So let the rhythm hit 'em. Just let the rhythm.
Today, from M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland, it's week 2 of the NFL on EA Sports. Baltimore Ravens versus Tua Tagovailoa and the Miami Dolphins.
With Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance, we are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Miami Dolphins and the Baltimore Ravens. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Raven team as they get ready here. They come in off a good win on the road, and now they hit the home opener at 1-0. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Dolphins, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes that actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
This one taken just inside the 10. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Now Tua Tagovailoa gets set to lead this Dolphins offense for the first time.
And last week's loss came despite a clean game on his end, throwing the ball with 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. His job this week is simple. Do it again. Continue to avoid turnovers and hope that what sunk them last week resolves itself this time around.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Tua to throw right away. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. 5 yards on the game's first play, 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch. Now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Well, the first drive here and the first time that we've called the big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers will get involved as this game goes on.
On play action, here's Tua. He'll swing this out to Mostert. They'll wind up getting just a yard, and that'll leave them with a 3rd and 2. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Tua sets up to pass it. Got a man complete to Cedric Wilson. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain, so they Didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
25 yards that time. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Credit that sack to Travis Jones.
They just gave up a sack there. If I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And that one a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play, but sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one, weren't able to do so.
And a completion to Wilson. And out of bounds right around the 20. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. And how about this first drive? They're being aggressive, slinging it around.
Really confident, too, because they're not trying to fool them with running plays, throwing it, and they're being very successful right now.
The kick by Sanders is good. And the opening drive for the Dolphins yields 3. I think we can safely say they came out to be aggressive on the opening series, Charles. They didn't run the ball once. All that passing, it does get them the 3-0 lead.
I think what we saw there, partner, was a true definition of football balance, which means doing what you want to when you want to on offense. And in this case, it was throwing the football. They made it make sense running the football a little bit more as this game goes on. But this opening drive, while it stalled out, it still gave them 3 points. So now the Ravens getting ready for their first go on offense. The former MVP in his 12th season leading them out. He's got more rushing touchdowns than any quarterback in NFL history. Cam Newton. And many people are having difficulty pegging exactly what they believe Cam Newton is at this point in his career. For me, when I see certain days and he's right, he can still be an accurate passer, can still get the ball downfield. And his running ability, especially inside the 10, still makes him a difficult quarterback to prepare for. Off play action. Newton. On the move to his left. And right away, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. We know he's got the speed to get downfield, Charles, but there's the negative side. A little loose with the football that time. And that's normal, especially when you have his type of talents, because you feel like you're into the open field and maybe you don't feel the people who are around you or closing in. All quarterbacks have to do extra ball security drills with the way the game's played now, because defenses, they attack the football as much as they attack the runner. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Travis Jones, now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play. Well, certainly going to be a lot tougher adding a touchdown to that lead now since they're facing 2nd and 20-plus. Big-time sack to start the drive and put the opponent way back. Let's see what kind of play call they come up with here. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Another try after the first down sack. Tua, and he'll be brought down at the 27. Well, this defense for the Ravens, terrific last week in the season-opening victory. And I don't know what the actual percentages are, and I don't know the analytics when you create 5 turnovers or takeaways in a game. But coaches always say, when you create a number that high, your chances of winning probably up over 98%. I haven't seen that number quantified, but I believe him. I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Sanders' kick is good, and that will make it 6-0. So the fumble recovery had them set up in ideal field position, but they can muster only 3 points out of it.
Yeah, when you're able to force turnovers, especially when it results in field position like they had, you really want to make it hurt. Here, they take the field goal. That's definitely not what they were hoping for.
And he won't quite make it to the 25. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over. One of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
48, come on. Hey, we got to get this stop here, D. No, 8.
Play action, it's Newton. And this one nearly picked off. Kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's second down.
20. Heavy on the edges, heavy on the edges. Undercrook.
From the gun, here's Newton. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
29 is Mike 29. Let's make these babies cry on the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies cry on the way back home.
Newton to throw. Going deep for Hopkins. And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
They'll run here with Raheem Mostert. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Here we go. 53.
6-0 our score after 1. second down. Here's Mostert again. And that won't buy him much room. Just a 1-yard gain to the 5.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. The Dolphins on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. They'll stay on the ground with Mostert. And he'll be tackled after a gain of 4. Still 3 yards short. 4th down. So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. A run with Mostert up the middle. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
Here's Thomas Morstead now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out of there. That's taken it around the 40. It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract 9 there for the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Week 2 underway around the NFL. And a reminder that later tonight it'll be Chicago and Green Bay in the Packers home opener, the 101st season of that great rivalry. They had the 100th anniversary last year. And then tomorrow night a treat, a Monday night doubleheader, Tennessee and Buffalo 7:15 Eastern, and then Minnesota and Philly kicking off a little over an hour later. Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. Throwing is Newton. He's going to float this one deep right side. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Jamar Chase, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Ravens strike quickly here to tie up the ball game. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and they take the lead here at 7-6. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. Noah Igbenogany from his end zone. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. Miami set to take over. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offense coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe something to press it a little bit. This might be the case.
Tua now on first down. That's going to be caught by Waddle. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it's second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
On second down, Mostert. And down he'll go at the 25. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Now this offense hoping to avoid the 0-2 start. Well, they trail, but they've got a 1st and 10 here. Once again, it's Mostert. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Up the middle they go with Mostert. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. And able to find Gesicki as tight end. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Now a throw here to his running back. A good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out
to a hit, and the ball is out.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. Now Tua. This one incomplete. Almost picked off by the rookie, but he couldn't quite look it in. And now it's 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. And this will be taken at the 13. And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a first down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
On first down, it's Newton. Tried to drop it in there, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. Well, that's kind of one of those we saw developing and had interception written on it from the second that ball left his hand.
And if you're going to throw a floater like that, it really only works if you're leading a tight end on a flag route or something to the corner of the end zone. If you're going to throw a ball like that to the sideline, you're just giving the defender way too much time to make a read on it, step in, and make the play.
Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that...
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked by Darryl Worley, and the Ravens are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
Now following the interception, here's Newton. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now it's Newton. Going deep for Hopkins. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. Well, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
Tua going to try and go quickly here. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Tua, and this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air and defensively. They were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
Out of the gun on 3rd down, here's Tua. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a 2nd one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. He'll field this at the 5. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Next possession forthcoming for Cam and his offense. He's got a touchdown pass in this first half, but he's also been intercepted twice, so he'll be looking to be a bit more careful with the ball here as they start on 1st down. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Going deep for Hopkins. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Here's Newton. Buying time to his left. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And that's gonna be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket, only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try to get those yards a safer way.
And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. Throwing on third down, Newton. And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a third time. Brandon Jones picking it off. Wow, a big mistake there. Late interception in this first half, and that could lead to a field goal try the other way.
Yeah, I think at this point you just had to say, let's take a knee and go in at the half and regroup. Let's just talk it over a little bit. I wonder, partner, was the analytics coach in his head a little bit? Maybe go ahead and press it and try and get some points? While the old school coach probably would have said, take the knee, let's get out of here.
Now we could see points the other way here. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll begin with a couple of cellar dwellers from a season ago. The Jets on the road at Cleveland. And it's the Browns who have the lead in the second quarter. Amari Cooper, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. Next, we'll head over to check on the Giants at home at MetLife Stadium. And they trail in their ball game at halftime to the visiting Carolina Panthers. Sam Darnold with 3 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And they currently trail in that game against the visiting Patriots. Mac Jones has thrown a touchdown pass. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what it's been a closely fought battle to this point. Fielded just outside the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Cam Newton getting ready to go again on offense. And he's got to be wondering what happened in that first half. 3 interceptions, very uncharacteristic.
And even the great ones go through phases like this, like what we just saw. And most of them, they have such a mental capacity to throw it out and essentially start over. I think that's where he's headed now.
He's got his opportunity to throw it out. Let's see how he does. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going. And also, he motivates your offensive line. I think they're in the mood to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. That good for 19 and a first down. That one definitely helps as they try to push the ball down the field here, trailing early in the third quarter.
And even though they're trailing, not abandoning the running game. People may call it an adjustment. I think it's just much more sticking to what works for you and continuing to have faith in it. And the running game is starting to pay off.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Newton sliding out of the pocket. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
On second down, a run with Dobbins. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
So this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting them to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Newton now to throw. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And this one incomplete. And another throw that really could have been, maybe should have been intercepted. That would have been number 4. Instead, it's 4th down. Tucker's kick is good. And they take the lead here by a point, 10-9. Well, they don't get a touchdown here in the opening drive of the 3rd quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
From the 6. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. And they find themselves down on the scoreboard following the field goal a moment ago.
And I think even though they trail in the game now, I would consider that a win for their defense, and that's probably what they're telling the offense when they get to the bench. Hey, the onus is on you guys now. Get
to a hit, and the ball is out. Fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the 2nd half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there, their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
So they keep the football, but now face 2nd and long. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. It's Hill, complete. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here, 3rd and 14.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's swung out to Mostert. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for Miami. This is fielded at the 27. A nice job getting free on the return for 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here are the Ravens to take over on offense. They were winners over the Jets a week ago, and they are in the driver's seat right now as well. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Here comes Wallace, jet sweep. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short. They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. Room here to run. And they will finally haul him down at the Dolphins' 8. 84 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Out of the gun, Newton. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Second down and goal. Newton. That's caught at the 3. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Now Newton on 3rd and goal. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Jalen Phillips, the former first-rounder, getting in there for the sack.
3rd and goal, they decided to throw for it, but how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open, left him nowhere to go with the football, had to absorb the sack.
Well, you got to think, Charles, that one's on the quarterback, as everybody was up at the line of scrimmage. He just didn't call for the snap in time.
Yeah, I think he needs a little bit better awareness out there, because you got to know when the clock's in single digits and either snap it or get a timeout called if you have one.
They're still going to go for it on 4th and goal even after the penalty. No sign of the field goal team. Newton takes it himself, and this is going to come up well short as they stop him on 4th down. So following the failed try on 4th down, we'll change ends and change possession. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Play action, now it's Tua. Open man is Waddle, complete. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, Something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open. That makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
From the gun, a run with Mostert. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
On first down, Tagovailoa. He'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Well, they're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But the bottom line is...
Oh, it was hit at the line of scrimmage and intercepted. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. An excellent play there, CD, on the pick 6. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did, and came through with a big-time pick 6.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. And with that, the lead is up to 8. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken just shy of the 10. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. And the Dolphins getting set to go here. And can they regroup? That's the question. The pick 6 hurt, no doubt, but this is still a 1-score game here in the fourth. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. After the pick 6, they go right back to the air. He's going to drop this underneath to Mostert.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. They'll run the draw with Mostert. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Off of play action, Tagovailoa. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And that's a much-needed first down right there. Look, they're down by 8. So logic says they don't have to get a touchdown out of this drive. But the way things are going, I don't know if I'd put it in the hands of my defense here. You might not get the ball back at all. So if a 4th down situation comes up, I'm thinking hard about going for it right here and right now. It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. He'll get this into the hands of Mostert. And they'll work this down inside the 30. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 7. Well, he forces one there. It's a potential dagger as it's intercepted. It's the sack master, Justin Houston, who comes up with it. Agreed, that's twice now in this fourth quarter.
As a quarterback, a lot of times you think it's all on you to make plays when you're losing. And here, the play's not there, but he throws it anyway.
On 1st and 10, Newton. He finds Robinson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes. And we've got a one-score game. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. A give up the middle to Dobbins. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Now it's Newton. Rolling to his left. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
Barton, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Newton. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. Here we go on 4th. Newton being chased out left. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Not the best of plays there as a quarterback. You're right-handed, rolling left, trying to throw it that far downfield.
I remember a coach of mine saying, son, that's the equivalent of trying to get the car keys out of your pocket with your opposite hand while you're trying to run. You just can't do it.
Here's Tua. Over the middle and complete to Waddle. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. Tua. That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass. Couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You're having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a first down. Instead, it's 4th. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he will have a Dolphins first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. And the Ravens have just about sewn up this football game. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Throwing here, Newton. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth. Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Now here's a sneak, maybe looking to run a little time. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play. On 4th down, Newton. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. Well, certainly those are the types of mistakes they're trying to avoid as they attempt to protect this lead late in the game.
And let's face it, they're hoping that this one doesn't cost them in a significant way. Yeah, one guy committed a penalty, but now the entire defense has to pay the price and try and rise up and overcome it.
And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. Picked by Darryl Worley. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. So he picks it in one end zone, brings it all the way down inside the red zone.
And he took a gamble, didn't he, Brandon? I mean, he intercepted that in the end zone. Could have taken a knee there. They get the ball on their own 20. Great job taking the ball away. But he takes that chance, brings it out, and boy, what a conversion that turned out to be.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 101 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball and continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Well, that second half, Charles, a little bit different from the first. Not only did we have the lead change after intermission, but they were able to pitch the shutout in the second half and get an impressive victory.
And what's the old expression? That's not quite how I saw it playing out in my head. You know they didn't expect this at all. As you mentioned, went into the half with the lead. Losing the game is one thing. Getting shut out in the second half, that's a surprise.
So for Baltimore, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, for Miami, they'll drop to 0-2. And they will get a home date next week as they will take on the Buffalo Bills. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.